my fellow comic book collectors, it's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is part 8 of this unboxing. And we've unlocked some pretty cool books all along the way. I'm hoping you'll like this next part. I have no idea what's inside. We'll get into it. It's all of these slabs. We'll see what's inside. It should be fun stuff. The next 2 videos, by the way, are going to be crazy. I'm just telling you now, the next 2 videos are crazy. It's all my Heritage Auction wins is the next video, and the video after that is the finale. So stay tuned for those. But we're going to show some pretty cool stuff even in this video, starting with the very first book. I mean, this is it's like just an awesome book. Wow. Okay, so this is a good one. This is a really nice one. This is the Black Terror number 24. Classic Alex Schomburg cover. Just a really great one. I mean, it's a lingerie cover. You got the girl in bondage, wearing pink, close enough to red. We'll have to go with it. But definitely a really sexy outfit, lingerie cover. And you got the Black Terror trying to stop the guy. He's taking her money, it looks like. He's like maybe robbing her. And this is just a really great Alex Schomburg cover. I mean, just one of my favorites, actually, of the Black Terror run. I just like the good girl element to it. So this is a bondage cover from Needor Publications, 1948. Alex Schomburg cover, Frank Frazetta, Jerry Robinson, and Mort Meskin art inside. So a lot of really great contributors to this book. So we got the Black Terror number 24. Really cool. Ever ready batteries on the back, a nice little cartoon. So yeah, this is a cool book. Okay, next book. Oh man, it's like big book after big book. Okay, so that was a big book. I didn't realize there was another big book right after it. This next one is one that I really think has some of the craziest covers from the pre-code horror age. I don't necessarily think this was a pre-code horror title, but it has these kind of pre-code horror covers. It's more of a crime book, but it definitely has these really strong pre-code horror elements to it. It was a title called Manhunt. And the reason I say it's got pre-code horror elements to it is if you look at this cover, you got this girl and she's being pushed into an electric chair. Again, woman in the red dress. Do not wear wear red if you're a woman in the golden age. Not a good time to wear red. You're going to have bad things happen to you. You know, she's a blonde wearing a red dress. You got her in the bondage at the bottom there, and they're forcing her into the electric chair. And then you got this guy, maybe sort of he has almost like a demon hand or something going on there. And he's just like having a casual dinner. And this is maybe the entertainment for the night. It says, dinner date with death. And it's just like such a great cover. The interesting story behind this one was I was actually trying to buy this one, and I had the worst luck. There was a auction. What was the name of the auction house? It was like some smaller auction site, and I was like, oh, they had it, and I was going to bid on it. I was winning. I thought, oh, okay, I'm totally going to win this book. And then I didn't know how to place bids when the auction actually went live. So I was like watching it, and hey, all of a sudden I got outbid, and I was like, how do I bid? How do I stop it? And then after the auction had just ended, I figured out how to get into the live auction. I was like, oh man, the one book that I really wanted, and I lost out on it. Then it came up on my comic shop, and I was like super excited. I put it in my cart. I was going to check it out. I did, I was talking to Steven, and Steven goes, I got a cool book. I was like, it was actually, maybe it was different than that. We were actually on a live stream together, and I was mentioning how I missed out again on this book, like for the second time, where it was taken from my cart and somebody had just bought it. I'm like, how did they buy it so quickly? I literally just put it in my cart. It was maybe only a few minutes. I was going to check out and then it disappeared. I was like, man, what's going on? This book was eluding me. And then it basically, I was on a live stream with Steven and he's like, oh, by the way, I got this cool book, and it turned out to be the book that I was trying to get. And then after that, there was a third try to get it, and I managed to get it on the third try. So just a hard book for me to find. I don't know why I was having such difficulty trying to get this book, but I really, really love this cover. So yeah, but I'll show you the back as well. It's an Ogden Whitney cover. So this is Manhunt #2 from Magazine Enterprises 1947. Ogden Whitney did a lot of the covers from this title. I think he did most of them. And some of them are really, really great. This is my second favorite of the title. The other one that's really awesome is there's this woman and she's chained, like she's at the bottom of the cover. And she's basically chained down to a table. And you got this little midget guy, like little dwarf guy, standing on her, injecting a needle into her neck. It's just a crazy cover. One of the most crazy covers from the pre-code era. So just a really cool one. But this one I also really like. So that's the second book. Let's see. So far we've been getting some pretty cool books. Actually, we have a non-slab, and I know what this non-slab is. It's a pretty cool book too. I didn't realize I still had one non-slab to unbox, but this is a really cool one. Let's see. Okay, so I go down these rabbit holes, and a lot of the time when I go down rabbit holes, my viewers and a good friend of mine help me with my rabbit holes and make myself go deeper and deeper into them. So I'll have people say, oh, did you know about this book? And I'm like, oh man, I have to go down that rabbit hole of finding some other random book. Like the Popeye one was the worst. I was just like buying this random book and then, oh no, wait, there's this earlier book. And that was some other random book. It was just like the worst. Another rabbit hole that was kind of similar to that was Sad Sack. Getting the first appearance of Sad Sack is actually pretty challenging. So I managed to find out that Sad Sack made his first appearance in a large format magazine that was published for the troops. George Baker was a sergeant in the U.S. Army, and what they did was they had this publication called Yank, and it would basically go out to the troops, and it was created by the troops. So there would be photographers within the U.S. Army, there'd be artists within the Army, and they would contribute to make this publication happen. And it was a weekly publication, just as a morale booster for the troops. And as I was saying, Baker was one of the people that contributed to it. However, the U.S. version of the publication came out 1 week later than the British version of the same publication. So the publication that has the very first appearance of Sad Sack is Yank Army Weekly from 1943. I think it's July of 1943, somewhere around there. But there's an earlier one from the British edition, and this is it. It has the same cover, it's exactly the same book, just that it's the British edition. So you'll see that it says, where does it say that? You'll see that's an earlier edition. So this is June 13th, 1943, volume 1, number 52. And this is it says up there, the British edition. So if you want to get the very first Sad Sack, it is in this book, this magazine. I'll show you the back. It's got some pretty cool stuff on the back as well. And you can see the type of cartooning that the troops would do, and this would be a form of entertainment to boost the morale of the troops. Oh. So, yeah. So that's Sad Sack's first appearance, chronologically. The US one is often cited as being his first appearance, but this one did appear earlier. And it was my friend Lyle that told me about that. So thank you, Lyle, for informing me about that book. Okay, next one. Oh, actually, we got another raw book in here. A couple raw books. Didn't realize there was so many raw books in here. One sec here, let's stick it in. Oh, always a challenge to open these things. I think I was on a live stream with Night Tiger, and he showed this book, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I actually really like that one. So I decided, hey, I gotta find it. He mentioned that there was one still on eBay when we were doing the live stream. I just thought it was a really cool cover, just because of the contrast, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So this is Super Comics. I forgot what issue number 72. There's no key about it. It's not a key book. It's not like, oh, this is one collector's desire or anything like that. I just thought it was cool. It was just purely, I think it's cool. And what we have is we have the contrast. We have Dick Tracy, and we have little orphan Annie and her dog. And in the background, you got this, this, I don't know, green man, and he's tied, and it looks like they're going to interrogate him. And it's just such a weird scene that I thought it was like, oh, that's really odd. You know, little orphan Annie, you don't think of her as being the intimidating type that's going to be like beating up guys to get information out of them. But that's what the scene kind of looks like, or they, you know, arrested him or something. I don't know what's going on. It's just a crazy, crazy scene. Yeah, it's the Green Jap cover. just a really weird one. So, yeah, Super Comics number 72. And yeah, so Night Tiger was the one that introduced me to that book. I thought it was really interesting, so I picked it up. Okay. Oh, okay, this is some high-grade book. Oh, okay. I think it fits what I think it is. Okay. So this is, what is it? Oh my goodness, I'm trying to remember what first appearance happens in this one. This is like one of those books that has like a really interesting key that you wouldn't associate with it. And I'm just trying to remember. So this is the DC Sampler, number 3. And I'll put it in the notes because I don't remember off the top of my head what the key is. I should know. I'm blanking on it. I feel like it's Swamp Thing or one of those characters, or Constantine, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember. But it's a 9.6 white pager. Not an expensive book, but just it is kind of one of those under the radar keys. I will put what the key is in the description. So look in the description and I'll say what this is. But it's from 1984. Profiles Alan Moore, Stephen Bassett, John Totleben, and Saga the Swamp Thing. 2-page Crisis on Infinite Earths. I really do believe that it is like the first cameo appearance of Constantine. That's what I think it is. I'm pretty sure. I kind of remembered. Yeah, I was close. I was trying to remember. So I think that's what it is. The first Swamp Thing. Constantine from Swamp Thing. So yeah. And it's a wraparound cover. It's a really cool wraparound cover as well. So yeah. DC Sampler number 3. Okay, now we're getting into some more cool books. Okay. This one has eluded me for a little while as well. This is True to Life Romances. This book was very interesting. I watched this one for quite a long time. It was in my cart for the longest time too. Like maybe, I would like to say 6 months, something like that. I was watching this book. This is True to Life Romances number 11 from Star Publications 1952. And this was on my comic shop. It was, they listed it, and the guy wanted, I think it was like originally like $1,100 or something insane. Like way about 2 times what you would expect this grade to go for. And I was like, that's a bit much. But there were some pretty strong sales for this book, and it kind of drove the price up. So I think the guy was kind of basing it on that, but it didn't sell. It didn't sell at the $1,100 or $1,200. It was some crazy amount. Then they dropped it to $900. And then they dropped it again. And basically I was just waiting and watching it drop in price. I'd get notifications, oh, the book you're interested in is up for sale. And because when they relist it on my comic shop, they'll give you a notification that it's been relisted and with the new price. So I was noticing the price was constantly dropping. I was like, okay, I'll just wait a little bit longer, wait a little bit longer. I think I got it for half price, basically. And there was also a sale that impacted the price of this book as well. So I got like multiple discounts on this book. So I was quite happy to get it at an affordable price. And it's just like this crazy cover in a way. It's like the log cabin thing where you got the man and the woman, and you got maybe the girlfriend or wife coming in, catching them in the act. But this guy, the interesting thing about this book is the guy's clothing. It's just really weird. It's like he's wearing these purple pants and this weird checkered shirt. But maybe it works for him because he seems to be getting all the girls. So if you're looking for love, you know, this is the attire that you need to wear. Yeah, just really interesting. I don't think it really matters though. He's probably a good-looking guy. So yeah, it's an LB Cole cover, classic cover. This is from Star Publications, which was LB Cole's own publication, and just a really great book. I was super excited to finally get this one in my collection. And so and on the back, you can reduce and keep slim at home. Just rub that onto your tummy until you get a nice hole in your tummy from rubbing it so much, and you will lose weight. So just a really cool LB Cole cover. The violent passions of love, jealousy, vividly portrayed in this dynamic issue. So really cool. I guess that's that one. Got, I think, 2 more books I have to show you. This one has a whole bunch of board. Oh my goodness, the next one's really cool too. I just saw the next one. It's really awesome. Okay, this one's cool too. It's wow, they put a whole bunch of boards. Got a whole bunch of free boards. This I'll actually reuse because they're useful. Okay, but it's Nellie the Nurse number 2. And this one's an interesting one. So you got Nellie, obviously, and she's with some rich guy. And then you got the other boyfriend. Maybe he's not so well-to-do, but he's got some nice gifts. So this is Nellie the Nurse, number 2 from Marvel Comics, spring of 1946. And this is at the height of the good girl phase of Marvel. And just a really, really great one. I like these early Nellies and Tessies and stuff like that. So I just really like these different characters that Marvel came out with. And then you can see the back. You can get some, is it Kodak or some camera thing. So yeah, just a really great good girl one. Which guy will she choose? Will she choose the rich man who's maybe not so nice, or the hardworking but poor poor guy? So yeah, it's So that's Nellie the Nurse, number 2. And the last book is a really crazy one. This one is really interesting. Let me take it out. This is a boy comics. And boy comics is a pretty interesting title. For the most part, boy comics are very affordable. The later issues. Now, the early issues in the boys comics run, it's a very long-lasting run, actually. It's a very popular run in the Golden Age. Afterwards, people don't really know it. But in the Golden Age, the boy comics was quite popular. And the early issues are quite valuable. And this is one of those ones with more of the interesting covers that existed in the early issues. A lot of Charles Biro art was used for boy comics. So this is Charles Biro, but it's just a crazy cover. So you got, the situation is Crime Buster, who is the main character of boy comics. This is a Lee Gleason Publications from 1943, a bondage cover. It's Charles Biro, but he's coming in and there's all these Japanese soldiers and they're torturing this American soldier. He's in bondage in a chair, and they're lighting his feet on fire. They got a lighter, and they're torturing his feet. Isn't that crazy? It's just such a weird cover. You got these Japanese soldiers torturing the guy, and you got Crime Buster coming in to save the day. And you got, I think it's Squeaky, is his monkey, that's coming in to also give a helping hand. So just a really interesting one. I like these more extreme covers that are just way over the top. This is pretty over the top with the torture and bondage going on. When I first saw it, like, this is kind of a weird aside, but when I first saw it, I actually thought this was Hitler. It just had that little bit of Hitler look to him. I just thought, but it isn't. It's American GI, and he's getting tortured. So yeah. But you get a free microscope if you buy this book. So another good reason to pick it up. So this is Boy Comics number 12 from 1943. It's a really cool book. Charles Biro was known for his fairly interesting, almost over-the-top covers. A lot of his Crime Does Not Pay covers are just insane. But some of the early boy covers that he did were pretty over the top as well. The later ones in the run are fairly affordable because they're very detailed in terms of lots of stuff happening, but not as extreme, and they don't go for as much. So usually you can pick those up fairly affordably, like $10 level. These early issues more like $100 to $300 per point. So yeah, just a bit different in terms of pricing. But I love those interesting Charles Biro covers. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Some pretty cool stuff. What was your favorite book of the ones that I showed? Tell me in the comments below. And thanks again for watching. Bye for now.